That is the Soffit bird box end cap. So as you can see, there's a piece of flashing over it, but the piece we're going to build is the part that goes next to the wood, that covers the wood along the side and then down the back edge there. Okay, come on back out. So what we're going to do is, we made a drawing of the part, which is here for you to look at, and I'm going to show you a little bit more on the part that I got laid out already. This is the side piece, which will be the second piece you put on. I just marked it a number 1 just as the placement from where I would put it on the house. So I just went around the house and made a little diagram and then marked the corners that I wanted to put these bird box covers on. Corner number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So I marked my parts as I went along with those numbers. So that's the end cap piece. This will be the back piece. It's really just a flat piece with a couple edges on there. So when you see the dashed lines there, those are the ones that I'm going to put a 90-degree bend there. So I need my full measurement that I measured off the side of the house, but I'm going to add 1 inch for that little flange that's going to be bent around, and that's what you'll use to nail to when you go to install these things. So yeah, my assistant will go around on this side again, and I'm going to go over just basic tools. You're going to need squares, some kind of a flat edge. You're going to need some markers and pencils, and I've got a nice heavy set of shears here that I'll just barely use, and a key component is going to be a razor knife. You see I got gloves on, tape measure, and glasses for safety, because I am going to cut this. If I was to cut this with these shears, it will leave a little bit of a rippled edge on it, but I'm going to show you how to cut it using a razor knife. This is so thin. So one thing about this is when you make your layout like we did on this diagram here, when you draw it like it really looks on the side of your house, the part that you're looking at is the white part. So to get this white part shaped correctly, we're going to have to lay the white part down and draw it on the back side of the material, which means we're going to have to draw it opposite of what we see in our drawing. So this particular one is a right end that I'm making here. So we're going to draw it on the back side and form it up toward the back, leaving the white showing, and the part that we bend under on the bottom and the ends will be the white showing when it's installed. So basically I just really want to show you how to cut and form one of these is the main thing, because I wasn't familiar with it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one. I've just got it laid out. This is just a model here, but what I did, I took a couple measurements here. This was like 6 inches here and 10 inches here, and then I added the inch for the fold, so it's 11 there. And then most all the ones I did were 16 to here. I just measured straight up 21 inches over from here and straight up 16 off of my actual eave. So when I set this at 16 here and this at 6, that set my pitch of the roof. I didn't need to know what the number was. I just needed to know that my material needed to be this tall and it needed to be this tall at this point, and then you could come from there down and check it. This is not the scale, but mine wound up being about 4 inches right here, and that would go up the eave just a little bit. So I'm going to just show you how I cut this out pretty easily using simple tools. So I will use the shears for this cutout here, and I've got it all marked out where it's pretty easy to do. I'm going to cut this part here with the shears, which will leave a little bit of a wavy edge, which we don't want on our main cut. So for that reason, we're going to use this razor knife to cut it with. So I'm going to put a flat edge here. This is a steel flat edge on the outside edge. Now remember, this is where I'm going to break it, where the dotted line is. I'm going to pull this a couple times across here, maybe twice on here, or 3 times. You can see it's already trying to bend. And then when you bend that up, down, however you want to do it, you can leave your hard material there, bend it up, down a couple times, and it'll just break right off. So that is this part. So now I need to form this end. So in this case, I'm going to cut this little tab here because I want it to be there to fold under the material once we're finished, like this one folds under here, that little tab there. This was one of the ones we pulled off the house of. You can use a tool like this. This tool has a 1-inch side and I think an 1.5 inch side. I'm going to borrow this 1-inch side on this tool here. You could use a lot of different things, but the main thing you want is a hard surface of something, cardboard or something, stuff it all the way in there and just break it 90 degrees. Pull that off, and you can adjust it a little bit as you need to, but then stay on the 1-inch side again. And remember, I cut this ledge already, so go back in there, make sure it's all the way in, do your break, take it out, and you can adjust it a little bit. Now I would give it to the installer like this, because once he nails this on, he can bend it like he wants it here. I'm gonna go ahead and bend it just for kicks for you guys, but he could bend that because that's what he's gonna nail on the outside of that box. And look at the edge, it's a nice edge. So the other piece that goes behind that is just a flat piece like that. So I'll just illustrate it real quick for you again, because it won't take but a second. Once you know how to cut this stuff, it's not bad to do. You just take your razor knife, score it a couple times. You don't want to cut all the way through it. You want it to work and break versus cutting all the way through. And that just leaves a good, even a good smooth edge on the outside there. So we'll cut this other side. Okay. Breaks right off, and then I'll go ahead and do the brakes on it just to show you what this piece would look like as well. I've got it marked that I cut this piece. So I'll put this in, break this side, hold down tight. You want a lot of pressure there, so that if you don't have pressure there, this stuff is so light it'll warp up or whatever. So hold pressure down and quick bend that in, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bend this just to show you. So this would be the end box that you would put on. This would be the end box. You put it on first, and then you put this on, and you'd be able to nail it on the bottom. And you have a nice clean edge there, and you'd be able to nail it from the bottom. And this is what it looks like when it's up against your house. So that is a Soffit bird box end cap. Easy to cut, nice clean edge, it looks professional, and anybody would be proud to have that on their house. Now guys that have a break, we might say real roofers, they would leave this hole, and on their break they would do all the forms that I just did, but they would make this break also to where this is one piece. My garage was done this way and it's very professional. This is all one piece, it don't have this edge, but even with this being a joint here, it really don't look bad at all, and comes out very good. So I thought I'd share that with you because I didn't see a lot on YouTube about the Soffit bird box end cap, and I had to make a few, so I thought I'd share that with other people that are trying to do this. And this aluminum is I measured it at 22 thousandths, and it's a 2-foot roll you can buy. I'm not sure how long the roll is, but it's made for this type of work, very thin aluminum. But this paint should hold up for years to come. And the trick to it is, again, when you lay it out, when you get your drawing, you have to be sure and lay it out opposite, so that when you get your part formed, your usable part again looks like your measurements that you took from your soffit there to lay it out with. So you kind of have to work from the back side. That can get a little tricky, but what I suggest is, if I had lefts and I had rights, this was a right and this was number 4 end piece on my drawing on where it was located on my house. So what I did was made a pattern for the left and a pattern for the right, so that as I laid them out and get a little mixed up, I could pick up the pattern and go off of that. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope it helps somebody out, and have a good day. Thank you. God bless you.